Hello everybody, Mr. O here, and today I'm going to do the third stage of drawing animals. About 2 years ago, I did a video how to do the structure of the animals, and that is like drawing the shapes to form an animal, whether it's a head or full body. And then, as you see the raccoon here, just to kind of get an outline and just give a general drawing. Well, this video is going to be about detailing, and I'm going to just show you how to detail. I'm going to use this as a stepping stone, and I'm going to actually demonstrate charcoal in a different video on the same picture. And you can see by your practice with your pencil work, it does connect to charcoal. I will also do use this image and do a video on how to start scratch art, how to do a scratch art project if you have a chance to use scratch paper. And if you don't know what those things are, I think you'll be very excited when I do those videos. So let's get to drawing with pencil. So as I said, stage one is just the shapes and maybe form. Stage two is drawing the details of the animal, not highly details, but here's where we really get into the high details. And for me, I always start with the eye. You know what? Take a step back. I'm gonna just show you what I'm using. I am using the Ticonderoga pencil. You guys have seen me use that. A kneaded eraser. I do have a smudging stick. It's a new one, so I gotta kind of break it in. And I have a Mono Zero eraser. It's like a pen eraser. It's very small at the end, and it helps when it comes to detailing. Now, do you need any of this? Well, you need the pencil and probably a little bit of an eraser because, it's normal to make mistakes. We don't have to dwell on it. And you'll see that I still have a lot of my sketch lines, my guidelines. And normally when I sketch, I draw very lightly. So you might not see it through the video, all the extra lines. I'm not gonna worry about it because I feel like I'm gonna cover a lot of those lines up when I do a lot of the detailing. But as I said, I kind of start with the eye. I'm not gonna even worry about the extra lines that I have. And I'm looking at this photo that I have, and some of you might look at a computer image. When I'm practicing, I don't care what image I'm using as long as it's what I want to do. Now, if I was going to enter this in a contest, of course, I would get photographer permission. And there are a lot of websites that allow you to look up photos and stuff like that. And I'm trying to talk and concentrate at the same time. And one of these days, I'm gonna just work or learn, I should say, to film the video and then do a talk over. That's probably the next step. I was very excited to start using the YouTube tools of adding videos at the end of videos and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm just adding the details. I take my time. Even though I've done this a million times, I don't want to rush. And I don't have all my drawing pencils because this is just a sketch. This is going to be what we call a finished sketch. And so it'll be more finished more than other sketches are. But this is good practice, especially since I'm going to do charcoal or scratch art. Some of you may just be doing pencil. You might just want to keep it on graphite. And so when I do use the term graphite, I didn't realize when somebody asked me what I mean by graphite, they just assumed I meant pencil, but I didn't realize that didn't translate everywhere. And as you can see, I'm starting to do the fur underneath. And the reason I chose this, because there's a little bit of light white, grayish fur. And as I'm doing my streaking, I may come in and smooth some of this out. But what I can do is go in with the eraser, and you see how it's just gentle and it allows me to do form. If I feel like that's a little too harsh, I can go back in with the smudging stick. Now, would you put this amount of effort, like it's a true pencil drawing, into a sketch? Sometimes when you're learning like this technique and even going straight with the pencil, notice when I go straight up and down, I get a thinner line, and it's nice for detailing. Learning those techniques not on your final paper allows you to make mistakes, allows you to learn to get the rhythm. And I do a spiral pattern. Some people go right to the other eye, and there's nothing wrong with that. For me, I kind of work in a spiral pattern, and I'm going to work like on half the raccoon itself. And like I said, I'm going to save the other half for charcoal. That way, I don't have to redraw. I do need to be, conscious of the time I spend making videos. I want to make as many videos for you guys as possible, but I want quality. And sometimes the quality you give as a student is just listening. And so I appreciate that very much. And I'm hoping that as I go, now notice when I do fur, like if you may not notice this, but not all the fur goes directly in the same direction. It turns and twists. And when you're first learning to do animal, sometimes doing the furry animal is a lot easier. Some of you might find feathers. Believe it or not, that some of this technique will work on feathers. Because if you look at small feathers, they do this. It looks almost like you're doing fur when you do it. And you just gotta see how I keep twisting the paper. And I'm hoping it's coming through what I'm doing. And then I might just take the smudging stick. So let's just say I need to get this a little darker. Instead of just shading with my pencil, I can just take the smudging stick and kind of fill in and get rid of some of the brightness. And I get this two-tone going on, and it looks a little more natural. And if there's some white streaks, a little gleam, I can emphasize with this pen eraser. Now, these pen erasers cost $6 to $7 depending on where and when you buy it. I always say when, because sometimes when you're around the holidays, sometimes things go on sale. They're a little cheaper. So I'm going to stop right here. I hope it gives you an idea of how to do fur. And you know what, maybe I should just do an edge. Let's show you a little bit of an edge. So let's just say I have a lot of white fur or lighter fur, because if it's just black and white, it doesn't matter if it's white or beige. Or notice how I kind of leave a larger gap with the fur. And even though that I had a lot of sketch lines and I'm crossing the sketch lines, it actually helps me build it up. And I just kind of keep backing it up, and it'll keep it lighter. If there's a few extra lines, well, again, going with the eraser. And could you use a kneaded eraser and kind of make a point? Yes. Could you use, like, here we go, I got a Ticonderoga right here, but a pink eraser. And you can probably just go in with edge and get that cleaned up. And it'll give me some good practice. Guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. And I just want to make sure you guys know you are loved. And never forget how important you really are. I hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll see you next video. Bye-bye.